This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent professors, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
Excuse me, sir. May I please come in?
Please come in.
Good afternoon, sirs.
Good afternoon. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
You are Mr. Vineeth Lohidakshan.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us meaning of your name?
Yes. Sir, Vineeth is my name and Lohidakshan is my father's name. It stands for actually Lohidakshan. Lohi means actually, Loh means the metal and action means who is a good doer of a metal.
Daksh.
Yes.
And that. Okay. So, come from Ernakulam.
Yes, sir.
Kerala is called God's own country, is it?
Yes, sir.
Why it is called God's own country?
So actually, the term God's own country has to do with a lot of factors. So one is the promotion of tourism in itself. It was adopted by Kerala government to brand tourism in that aspect. So second is a historical aspect in itself. The Travancore rulers actually ruled on behalf of Lord Sri Padmanabha. So that is also a reason, sir. So there's a mythological aspect also into it because Kerala is said to be derived from the action of Lord Parashurama due to his action of axe. And so there is also the aspect of the serene geographic aspects with Kerala and also the communal harmony that is enjoyed. So all this contribute and make Kerala God's own country, sir.
Okay. But Lord Parashurama was a Kshatriya, isn't it? Was a Kshatriya, isn't it?
Sir,
Parashurama.
Yes, sir.
Or Brahmin? No, he was Kshatriya.
Sir, I think, sir, actually he was against Kshatriyas and...
He was against Kshatriyas.
Yes,
he was a Brahmin.
Sir, I think I will have to just... yes. Yes.
So they have... and in Kshatriyas, there are not so many Kshatriyas in the south.
Yes.
So whom he was against? Because Kshatriyas are mostly in the north,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
So do you think there is something missing in this? Brahmin, he belonged to south. He was a Brahmin. He was against Kshatriyas.
Yes.
And hardly few Kshatriyas are there in the south.
Yes.
Mostly in the north.
Yes.
Did you see some fallacy in it?
Sir, actually this is a food for thought actually that I got now. That was enlightening for me. So I will look into this aspect, sir.
Okay. So, you are a student of anthropology.
Yes, sir.
So, in anthropology, how do you define culture?
Yes. Sir, culture can be defined to be anything and everything related to human beings. All that concerning his customs, his even eating habits, the work experience, everything what is construed by man in himself can be termed to be cultures.
But most of the connotations generally when you talk of culture,
Yes.
people just talk about religion mostly.
Yes.
Religion and religious practices.
Yes.
Is it fair to term only religious and religious practices as culture and ignore the rest of the things, eating habits, food habits and everything?
Sir, it is actually a challenge in itself. It should not be just skewed to religious aspects because humanity is much more than religion. And I think it should encompass every aspects related to humanity, sir. Only that gives up a holistic aspect of culture.
Mm-hmm. And South cinemas are doing very well these days.
Yes.
They are in fact even going beyond the success Bollywood has been doing. What is the reason behind it?
Yes. Sir, again, the success of South cinemas have to do with a host of factors. So one is the plot that is involved. It is very much related to realism in itself. Because if you look at the recent aspects and also the social issues that it deals with, the very example of Kadal, which was recently released, it dealt with homosexuality in a married partner. which is a very socially relevant aspect, and that the major actors itself are ready to take up those roles. That is one aspect. Sir, second is also the natural acting that is related. There is one example of the action hero Biju, which portrays the daily life of a policeman. It is very well shown that even police have acknowledged that aspect. So that common connect with people is one aspect, and also that it shows up a bigger picture of all aspects with regarding to Gadam.
But do you think Bollywood doesn't take up the actual problems of the society? They only show dreams. Do you think Bollywood has that kind of problem? Or it has become completely politicized? They take only topics which are related to political advantage of party A or party B.
Sir, in my humble opinion, I believe films and movies are actually guided by what the fan wants, what the audience require. So that is what actually Bollywood actually aims to. It caters to the needs of people in as such. So people want much of a mass movie, masala movie. So that's
what
why.
About the South? They don't want, the audience doesn't want those to see these kind of things. They see some other kind of things that is not a masala movie or something.
Sir, it is true that every crowd wants a mix of everything. I think that's what South is faring well. It is having a right mix of each genre in itself.
It's a right mix.
Yes, sir.
So tell me one thing, if I see the TV serials,
Yes.
almost every 2 minutes or 3 minutes there is some prayer going on, some other marriage ceremony going on. There's so much of a cultural and religious things pumped into the thing.
Yes.
Of 25 minutes.
Yes.
Barely 5-10 minutes are on the actual ideas and discussions.
Yes.
Don't you think this is doing injustice to the society and creating religious polarizations, helping in religious polarizations?
Sir, in my viewpoint, I feel this is something to do with our culture and heritage also. We as a nation holds rich tradition and heritage which should be celebrated, and actually serials do play in that aspect. But sir, also it portrays the challenge as you had mentioned, sir, which should be, I think, rightly managed. Rather than going into the extent of communal polarization, it should be managed to the aspect of the preservation of our culture in itself.
Okay. So we are aspiring to be Vishwa Gurus.
Yes, sir.
What do you think will be the? You have been a debater.
Yes, sir.
So I would like you to debate on for and against both.
Yes, sir.
Just 2 or 3 points.
Yes, sir.
For Vishwaguru aspirations.
Yes, sir.
And for not basically being too much into that.
Yes, sir.
Just
Sir,
2-3 points favor and 2-3 points against.
So can I take a moment on this question? Yes. Yes. Sir, I would go for 4 again. First taking 4 and respected audience and my worthy opponent. I would like to go for why we should go for Vishwaguru in itself. We are a country that have prominence in the traditional roots and aspect where have been Vishwaguru for all these decades and centuries. And this is something we should celebrate upon and should promote ourselves in this global world. We feel our rooted traditions can help us to be the problem solver in this global world where we have polarization, all these aspects of war and all this, and we have the solution within our own roots. I think for this as also to promote ourselves to be the representative of global South, this aspect is very much necessary. So, to the turning out. As my worthy opponent had noted, we have to promote ourselves as the Vishwaguru is not something that is at our cards now. We have our own problems. We are having the highest head count of multidimensional poverty. We are having highest count of the nutritional problems and also the economic aspects. All this counter our argument for being a Vishwaguru, and we have our own priorities to work up. So that should be prioritized rather than going for global position and soft power in itself. Thank you.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
Now, do you have elderly people in your family? Grandparents
So my grandparents have expired, sir.
Expired. So you must be having around elderly people.
Yes.
What are the problems of the elderly people as a doctor? How do you see it? Do you see any solution to those problems?
Yes. Sir, first aspect with regarding to the problems, I think with our elderly population growing up, we are having a host of problems in itself. So from being a medical background, one aspect is the rising NCD problem, the non-communicable diseases. India is turned to be the diabetic capital of the world, and also the hypertensive patients are also on the rise. So second, on the aspect of the emerging mental issues among elderly people, because they are at problem with various aspects. They are having economic concerns, they are having their housing concerns, they are having their loneliness concerns. So all these is resulting into their mental health problems also. So sir, in order to counter these aspects, I think an inclusive mindset from the administration is required first of all. So first priority should be their health in itself. They should have quite good accessible to quality healthcare. And sir, second is the aspect of housing. Many of the people are at problematic with their housing also. So third is something, I think, some innovative measures like from being on a district administrative, but we can involve youth into this in terms of an internship program. So that one aspect is their the digital divide that they are facing, and we are promoting technology in the country. So this interns can help them to bridge this gap. And also another aspect among elderly people is that they wish to visit many places like Kashi, Rameshwaram, Varanasi. So these are holy places. We can utilize these interns to take them to these places also. And sir, with regarding to their economic aspects, a stable social pension system should also be brought in. I think this can help to counter a lot of problems faced by elderly people.
Yeah, my last question related to that. Is the medical infrastructure enough for geriatric care?
Sir, at present, the infrastructure for geriatric care is not sufficient, sir. We have to expand our, especially the geriatric care services, especially the PHC care, the primary health care, and also the delivery of NCD services. I think this can be worked up. Especially this was noticed during the COVID times also. It was getting affected. And like good measures also do exist there, because Tamil Nadu government came up with Makkalai Thedi Maruthuvam. That is actually the services, the delivery services are going to their home with regarding to geriatric care. So these kind of initiatives can be taken up on a national scale, I think, with regarding to the infrastructural aspects also. So this can help to counter geriatric care problems.
Okay, so Vineeth.
Yes, sir.
You are from Kerala.
Yes, sir.
Honorable Chair's issue of that Parshurama.
Yes.
You have some knowledge about Parshuram. What is the importance of Parshuram, or why Parshuram is linked to Kerala?
Sir, I think my knowledge on this aspect is limited, so I think I will read on more on this aspect.
Okay. Now taking forward.
Yes.
What is the shape of Kerala toward coast?
Yes.
Do you have some idea? What is the shape of Kerala?
Yes.
Towards sea?
Yes. So I think exact shape
It is X.
X shape, yes.
So, issue is why it is linked to, because when he killed all the times, his Varsha was full of bloodshed.
Yes.
So, he requested the sea god, whatever,
Yes.
that you give me a land and wash my X. So, he threw the X into the sea.
Yes.
And then land was a little raised. It is in the X shape. So, it is one. And there is only one temple in Kerala related to Parshuram. So, that is the point. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening.
Marine drives, your area, Ernakulam and Kochi, what is the difference between these two?
Sir, sorry, sir?
Ernakulam and Kochi, what is the difference between them? Are they same or different?
Yes. Sir, there is one historical aspect to that, sir, because Kochi was actually referred to the Fort Kochi region, which was under the control of colonial powers over time. And Ernakulam actually referred to the place ruled by the local king. And currently it is actually denoting, Ernakulam denotes the entire district, and Cochin actually denote the urban area wherein the city is located.
So
this
part of Ernakulam is called Kochi.
Yes, sir.
And rest
Yes.
Okay. You're famous for backwaters.
Yes.
Why? What is this backwater? Why do we call it as backwaters?
Yes. Sir, backwater can be said to be the area, like the stream of water, which is having very less current or nil current in itself. So it can be like offshoot of the major river system, wherein it is very stagnant, so that we can have adequate area for the exploration, and it also caters to the local people. This has bolstered the rich tourism industry in Alleppey of the state, sir.
And the backwaters means water going and then coming to and fro.
Yes.
Generally, backwaters we do call it as.
Yes.
On the other hand, we say that the calm water.
Yes.
So how this going and coming is not visible to us.
Yes. Sir, I think this is the aspect, this currents. The currents are very much low, so that it is not visible to the eyes, normal eyes.
What is the positive and negative impact of these backwaters then?
Yes. Sir, positive is that it offers great tourism potential, all the aspects of that is bolstering in the industry there. So negative aspect is with regarding to the biological field. There is no alteration of the refreshment that is happening, so that if any harmful aspect is coming up, it gets stagnated, resulting in the biomagnification and bioaccumulation. It can bolster that, and also easy degradation of wetlands do happen associated with it.
Yes, okay. And what sanctuary is there? Famous bird sanctuary in your area? What is that called as?
Sir, it is Tattekad Bird Sanctuary, sir.
Why it is famous?
Sir, it is actually, it was established by Dr. Salim Ali, and it was actually termed to be one of the most rich sanctuaries in the world by himself. And it offers actually a very paradise for migratory birds, and it also have a cuckoo paradise in itself, where maximum cuckoo species are found in the country, sir.
Yes, it is. And second is, because it is intruding toward the land.
Yes.
Though it is in the sea, but it is the oxbow.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Maldives and Lakshadweep,
Yes.
they are very accessible. They are accessible from Kerala.
Yes.
Does Kerala can provide further services to the Lakshadweep? Now we have opened the Lakshadweep for the tourism.
Yes.
Do we think that we should expand more offshore ports or airports into the Kerala, so that at least whatever congestion will be there in the Lakshadweeps, should we have more ports in Kerala, or somewhere else we can have a port so that we can have a connectivity to the Lakshadweeps?
Sir, my take on this aspect would be it would be a very positive measure in itself, because there is also cultural similarity between Lakshadweep and Kerala. And also already Lakshadweep depends on Kerala for most of its emergency medical services, and also the support of the goods required. So any port or connectivity project would further enhance this, and that also helps in a cohesive growth of both places. The tourists catering to Kerala can visit Lakshadweep, it can promote that, and further those who are visiting Lakshadweep can also visit Kerala. So I hope this plan would entail an integrated development in the region, sir.
Okay. Lakshadweep and Maldives, we are now making this defense. We are promoting now the defense in Lakshadweeps.
Yes.
Will it counter the negative impact of Maldives, non-presence of military in Maldives?
Yes. Sir, that would be a very positive measure again, sir. We have recently inaugurated INS Jatayu in Lakshadweep Island. So this would actually help to increase our presence over the Indian Ocean region itself, as it was also termed by our Navy that INS Jatayu and INS Bas would act as our eyes and ears of Navy in itself. So this would count, especially due to increasing Chinese presence in the Maldives. I think this would be a prompt response to that also, and also for our strategic reasons in that.
Okay, my last. COVID, you have something related to COVID also, you have done something. You know? What are the after effects of COVID? We have taken all 3 doses, whatever it is. But still the people are suffering.
Yes, sir.
What further precautions the people should take?
Yes. Sir, with regard first as to the after effects of COVID, sir, I would say that COVID had multiple after effects of the impacts in itself, not just on health fields, on different fields. If we take up the economic aspects, we identified the importance of indigenization of manufacturing. With regarding to our culture itself, work from home culture developed. With regarding to education, the online based education developed. So all these have been after effects of COVID.
But from the health point of view, what precautions we should take?
Yes. Sir, from that aspect, one is definitely to follow the SMS policy that we had followed. The masking and the distancing aspect should be maintained. Sir, second aspect is the vaccine in itself. From my personal opinion, vaccine has worked its lot, sir, because I took all the 3 doses of vaccine and I haven't tested positive even despite doing COVID duty in all these waves. And also the patients whom I have encountered, those who have taken vaccines have not had the complications as the others. And sir, third aspect would be to counter our nutrition aspects, because nutrition have to do a great role, especially since we have the problem of tuberculosis also and pneumonia, which can further complicate the impacts of COVID. So this has to be dealt on a long-term basis, which would help us to counter COVID in itself.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Career in medical science is generally considered as a very noble career.
Yes.
So you have passed out in 2022.
Yes, sir.
I would like to understand the reasons why do you want to join civil services and not go in medical science career?
Yes. Sir, it is true that, sir, medical career actually offers a viable opportunity to service the humanity. Sir, it was the opportunity provided by medical career to serve during the COVID second and third waves that made me consider civil service as a very viable option to multiply our the service in itself to various fields, and also make ourselves to be social doctor to solve the problems that society faces. So this made me take up civil service on a greater aspect, sir.
Don't you think that a professional in medical science is also a social doctor?
Sir, definitely a profession in medical career is a social doctor, but the kind of issue that we address is just the secondary prevention in itself. But the primary prevention is associated with all the administrative aspects and various functions that we perform. I think this primary prevention aspect made me interested in public service, sir.
Okay. Why you have taken anthropology as your optional, since you could have also taken medical science?
Yes.
You have studied it for 6 years.
Yes. Sir, my selection of anthropology as optional was after careful consideration of medical science, anthropology and various other optionals. So main point of interest was the syllabus of anthropology in itself, which had human evolution and genetics that made me interested into the subject. And also I wanted to try out something new to go something. So anthropology offered a viable solution, which was related to medical science, but which was not too much new to learn up in itself. So that's why I went for anthropology, sir.
Okay. What is gene editing technology?
Yes. Sir, gene editing technology actually stands for the alterations that we make in the genetic structure, be it the nucleoside, nucleotide, which actually make up the DNA and the genetic structure, to have positive impact for the person involved. It can be with regard to any genetic disease. It can be for vaccine development. So these are this related to gene editing, sir.
What are the ethical concerns that are there regarding this technology?
Yes. Sir, the major ethical concern related is that we would develop a culture of designer baby in itself, especially because we can align the character traits according to the required genes. And also it can lead to the ethical concerns of the clinical trials in itself. All these can jeopardize the people who are vulnerable, especially the tribal population and people who have faced the disasters in itself. So these are the two major ethical concerns associated with gene editing.
Do you think that medical community should go for making designer babies?
Sir, my take would be that we should be against the medical, the designer baby concept, because it actually alters the genetic, the natural mechanism that is operating. It can affect the natural selection that is affecting. So which, even though it can offer a short-term viability, in the long term, it can result in the entire humanity itself to be extinct in itself, sir.
Okay, fine. What do you understand from paradiplomacy?
Sorry, sir.
Paradiplomacy. What do you understand from it?
Sir, I think I'll have to look more on this concept. Sir.
Okay. Why there are so many people in Kerala who are working in Middle Eastern countries?
Yes. Sir, the presence of Kerala diaspora in Middle East actually owes to the Gulf boom that happened during the 1970s and 80s, which offered viable employment opportunities to the Kerala population. And sir, major impact we should notice the chain migration that happened. So initially few people migrated, and further they led the further migration with their relatives and their neighbors. So this led to the chain phenomenon, which led to such diaspora presence in Middle East, sir.
What kind of role Kerala as a state is also playing in our relationship with Middle Eastern countries?
Yes. Sir, one aspect is, as noted again, the diaspora in itself. So we have good the relations, especially the recent times. Our diplomatic relations have been in the good scale with the release of 8 the mariners who were from Qatar. Sir, second is the aspect of trade in itself. The UAE actually offers the second largest trade destination for our country, and also there the increasing FDI from the Middle East region, and also the FTA that we are promoting. We have FTA with UAE, and also further FTAs we are pursuing in. So these are the importance that I think Kerala is having in impact on the foreign policies.
Okay, fine. What do you understand from constitutional morality?
Sir, constitutional morality actually signifies the conscience that the Constitution stands for, the ethical guidelines that have to be followed in. Especially it was noted by the governor of Tamil Nadu with the incumbent, the Ponmudi, the minister who was suggested by the Tamil Nadu chief minister. But the governor had opposed it, saying it is against constitutional morality in itself. So that is what I understand from the term, sir.
Okay, and is our country facing some crisis with respect to constitutional morality?
Sir, in my humble opinion, we are doing good with regarding to the presence of the democracy in itself. But yes, sir, but there are few challenges as addressed during the recent democracy report also. There is liberal democracy getting affected, and also the freedom of media is also a consideration that we have to look upon. But on a larger scale, I feel the country is faring well in terms of democracy aspects.
Do you really think that we can rely on such reports?
Sir, I don't think that reliability is actually a problem, because the source from which they are taking the data is unknown, and also Western media is having a polarized mindset towards Indian aspect, or as we have noted in the case of Manipuri crisis also. So I think it cannot be fully taken up, but only the relevant aspects should be taken up in that aspects.
Okay, you have been a long distance runner.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, I want to understand like what is the special preparation that is needed for a long distance running, and how it is different from short distance in terms of preparation, in terms of outcome?
Yes. Sir, first I would like to differentiate, because like the long distance and short distance. Long distance we consider normally distances above 3,000 meters, like 3 kilometers, and and the preparation also requires intense practice in itself. So one aspect, we have to develop our aerobic system. Like long distance running is powered by aerobic system, while short distance sprints are powered by anaerobic system. So one aspect is that we have to start slow. We have to start for slower distance, and we have to gradually increase the aspects. So second is the terrain aspect. We have to be acclimatized for different terrains, so that elevation also helps in that aspect. So third is the muscle strengthening which is required. We are very much prone to cramps while long distance running. So we have to increase that muscle strengthening exercises also, which would, I feel, along with diet practices, which would make us capable for long distance running, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So Vineeth.
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning of Vineeth?
Sir, Vineeth stands for someone who is modest, sir.
Okay. So if I have to visit Ernakulam,
yes,
then tell me 3 places.
Yes.
Where should I visit?
Sure, sir. Sir, I can chart out one route for that. First, I would be biased to my own place. We have a very good eco village in my own home place itself. So this is actually offering experience tourism. We have an elephant corral, so we can experience that. So that would be my first option. Sir, second option would be Fort Kochi and Mattancherry, especially some with historical aspects. This would be the second place. Sir, third would be the aspect of the beaches that is present, Chennai beach, that is also famous, which is having the newer aspect of adventure tourism via sea bridge. So these 3 different dimensions would be charting out, sir.
All right. So you said about the elephants. And
yes.
As far as the elephants are concerned, they are
yes.
famous. They are popular with respect to their, tusks.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the reason why they are being poached.
Yes, sir.
In your area, such kind of incidents do occur?
Sir, our area doesn't, this kind of incidences don't occur, sir. But our area is having a forest division range which entails up to Munnar, which is a very wide forest range. And it is at this place that the recent web series of Poacher, which was portraying the 2015 poaching incident, this actually happened in that forest range. Which was actually after 20 years, incidents of poaching was reported, and after that it was tackled and countered via the forest department, sir.
Okay, there is a particular tribe which is associated with the elephants, and there was a short movie which got the Oscar also last year.
Yes, sir.
Can you name that particular tribe? Elephant Whisperer was the movie.
Yes, Elephant Whisperer was there, but I'm sorry, sir, I'm currently
It's
unable to recall.
Kattunaikan tribe.
Yes,
Is it found in Kerala?
Yes, sir. The Kattunaikans are found in Kerala, especially in the aspect of Wayanad district, the tri-junction of Wayanad, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Kattunaikan tribe are prominent, sir.
So can you tell me some laws related to poaching?
Yes. Sir, one aspect that I can think of, the MIC program to monitor killing of elephants. So that is the one I can
What
think
about
of.
sites?
Sir, sites is having the prohibition on the sale of ivory and tusk in itself. And also traffic.
Which appendix talks about it?
So I think I will have to read more on this aspect.
No problem. Another issue related to elephants is animal-human conflict.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
In your area, do you see such kind of incidents? And most of the time, we take very drastic steps like killing the elephants or killing other animals for that purpose.
Yes. Sir, in our area, we do not have any incidents of human-animal, especially elephant conflicts. And that can be actually attributed to the good initiatives by the forest department. They have already utilized the technology aspects. The camera traps have been setting and alert signals have been sent out. And sir, especially in the contemporary times, human-animal conflict is one major problem Kerala faces. And this model provides a sustainable solution for this problem in itself. It can be utilized in especially Wayanad areas where the problem is very much on the rise. So this technology can be aided up to counter the issue in itself, sir.
Okay, two more questions I will ask related to the economy.
Yes.
Recently, India signed a free trade agreement with the 4 European countries, EFTA.
Yes, sir.
How do you see this agreement and how it can be helpful in Indian economy?
Yes. Sir, I feel the agreement to be a
what
very...
were the 4 countries, by the way?
Yes. Sir, the 4 countries were Switzerland, Iceland, Liechtenstein and Norway, sir.
Okay.
And sir, my view on this aspect is that it is a very positive measure for the Indian economy. Especially there's a trade deal that we have been promoting we have been discussing for last 20 years and it has went through. I say it offers actually 100 billion investment and also 1 million jobs over the next 15 years, which is a positive impetus for Indian economy as such. And also, sir, with regarding to the trade involved, from Indian perspective, we are not having much of difference because already our traded commodities don't have much tariffs in these countries. But with regard to input, we will have various inputs from these countries at very low tariffs, so that the cost of these commodities will be more will be lessened and availability will be more. So also this is having significant because this is the first FTA with a declaration of human rights and sustainable development. So this is also innovative in that aspect. So overall, I feel this is, and anytime if it doesn't provide the required benefits, we can walk out of the FTA, which is again a positive measure in itself.
Okay, my last question. What is the difference between free trade agreement and comprehensive economic partnership agreement?
Sir, I think I will have to look more on this aspect, sir.
Thank you.
They speak very fast.
Okay, sir.
Sorry. It doesn't appear that you are thinking and speaking.
Okay.
Though you are doing that.
Yes.
But if you sort of speed is a little less, it will appear as if it is a conversation.
Okay, sir.
It is becoming question answer actually.
Okay, sir.
It should look like a conversation, like I'm speaking.
Yes.
I'm speaking, then my whole body is speaking actually.
Yes.
So if that kind of conversation, if you can convert to concession, your answers will have more impact.
Sure.
That is my feeling, very fast. Then you generally go for very long answers.
Okay.
You will get only 30 minutes, 35 minutes maximum, 25 to 35 minutes. And in that you should expect many more questions so that you are judged better.
Yes.
So if you spend all the time in just a few questions, then it will not be judged better.
Yes.
Therefore, try to be a little more to the point
Sure.
and brief.